My name is Tal Harris. I'm an actor in our film and also the producer.
My name is Kasia Kowalczyk, and I'm the writer and director of The Bread Squeezer. I think we make films mainly right now that are sort of based on dreams that we have or nightmares occasionally. So it's very hyper real or surreal combination of things happening in our films.
And we joke that we make children's films that their parents don't want them to watch. So unfortunately that's a tendency of ours, because we like fairy tale and childlike elements, but then we like things like people dying or, you know, tragic things happening, because that just seems to be reality. The Bread Squeezer is a story about a little boy who loses his parents in a tragic Christmas tree accident, and then he grows up to be addicted to squeezing bread.
The idea of the Bread Squeezer actually started a long time ago in a world far, far away.
Well, there's this story that this guy was going to grocery stores and squeezing bread, and he was he would go into the aisles, and I guess when nobody's looking, he would squeeze. He'd reach in and he'd squeeze and crush the bread, and then leave it. But of course, grocery store owners are getting very upset because their bread was getting destroyed. So we thought that was the strangest thing we'd ever heard, and we thought we should make a movie about this. But the story we completely fabricated.
One of the things that we decided to do was each color would represent a character. And like at the beginning, you'll notice in the film that little Andrew, when he's with his family, everything's sort of these yummy cupcake colors, and they're very soft and sweet things. And then when the parents die, Andrew's sent to live with his Aunt Gertrude, who's the opposite of warm, soft colors. She's very cold greens and blues, and she actually, if you notice in the film, turns Andrew blue. He actually stops wearing sort of yellow, creamy, soft colors, and he only wears blue for the rest of the film. And then Joy was supposed to be sort of the fire that comes back into his life, and when he meets Joy, she always wears red, and the world that she inhabits is also these sort of reds and oranges and yellows, and that's supposed to bring the love back into his life. And at the end, he squeezes the red, so blue and red together.
I was always she says I was afraid of color before I met her, and now I'm not, so.
You lived in a world of beige.
Yeah, I lived in a beige world. We chose, well, wanted to shoot on film, because we just like the way that looks, but using different stocks, obviously, based on how much light we had. But because we shot on film, we thought, well, shoot, if we're going to spend this much money shooting it this way, we wanted to do a really good transfer. So we decided to do an HD transfer. And that really spoiled us, actually, because once you see your film, because HD actually can maintain the grain structure of the film. So when you see it projected, it has this amazing film-like quality. And so when we're editing it, that's how we saw it the whole time, was projected HD.
Great HD looks like a dream should look to me. You know, I wake up and I have these amazing dreams, and I wish that I could show them to people, and you know, I can't plug something into my brain and on a little computer. Maybe in the future, that'll be wonderful to have. But I want people to see what my dreams look like, and I kind of feel like when I get to see the film in HD, it's the closest to what I imagined when I was asleep.
We like lighting that's more natural, and like with HD, you can actually get these small differences that are noticeable. Whereas if it isn't in a higher quality, and if it isn't in HD, you're not going to see those subtle differences. Like we had the scene with the shoes in the shadow, and if the shadow is too dark, then you don't see the shoes. Or there's another shot where we pull back from Andrew on a bed. A few times we've seen it projected. Actually, just recently we saw it projected where he's too dark and you don't really see. He's wearing bunny slippers, and he's this 30-year-old man wearing bunny slippers, but it's dark, and so you can't see the bunny slippers, so you kind of miss that. So I think, yeah, I love that scene. I think it's really funny. But when you pull back and you can't really see them, then it's lost. If it's not projected HD, the color tends to get more muddled, just in general. It gets more kind of washed out or oversaturated, and at times we saturated it on purpose. But when you see that go up a few levels from where we had set it, it's sort of heartbreaking for us, and we die a little death each time.
Die a little death. I think people like the film. They like telling me how much they like the film. But my worst critics are our nieces and nephews, and unfortunately one of my nieces is always asking when we're going to make a happy film. So I'm still working on that. That'll be my award to win, is when she's happy with the film that we made.
Mm.